Hi everyone! Good day to my classmates, especially to our professor, Ma'am Medina. We are here to present to you both internal and external forces of Apple. We are the group who chose Apple as a brand, and from our previous discussions, we already mentioned and discussed its mission, vision, goals, and objectives, and other business strategies that Apple used just to make their product known in a wide variety of market. So now, just to give you a little preview of our product, Apple is an American multinational company that designs and sells customer electronics, software, services, and etc. Apple iPhones helped spark the dawn of the smartphone era and have revolutionized the way the world sees phones. Apple iPhones or Apple brand is known nowadays. It is very famous and a lot of people are purchasing their products despite of the price because of the good system and the service they give to the user. So as we further discuss, we will mention to you the internal and external factors or forces and some highlights, conclusion, recommendations, and suggestion of our group.
My name is Joseph Ivan Torres and I'm the first reporter. Internal factors. Steve Jobs returned to Apple after a 12-year absence and revolutionized the business by adapting to both internal and external influences in order to reinvent the Apple's brand. To reestablish the business as the world's top technology and creative company, Jobs used 5 factors. Steve noticed that his company's isolation from rivals, investors, and consumers was preventing Apple from achieving the success he desired in the technology industry. Images of incapable software were not appealing to customers and sales were decreasing. Ito pong internal factors ay 12 years po ng issue ni Steve Jobs sa dati niyang partner ay muli siyang bumalik sa business niya by adapting internal and external influences para ma-reinvent po ulit ang Apple. Gumamit po si Steve Jobs ng 5 factors para bumangon ulit at ma-achieve yung goal niya na maging world's top technology and company. Through that po, na-notice niya yung naghihinder sa success niya. Apple is a perfect example of organization that uses 4 roles to efficiently handle change. The convergence of national economies by trade, investment, capital transfer, labor migration, and technology is known as globalization. Apple has benefited from globalization to expand their market. Globalization is an external force that must be considered. It can help the business to expand, but it can also harm it. Ito naman po ay, ang Apple ay isa daw sa perfect example ng organization na gumagamit ng 4 roles. Na kung saan, sa way na ito, kung paano mag-a-adapt at ma-handle sa pagbabago na meron sa business. Through globalization, natutulungan niya ang Apple company na mag-expand ang business si Steve Jobs pero gamit ang globalization pero maaari din ito mag-cause ng harm sa isang business. Internal highlights and conclusion. The main highlight of this first part of the paper is the information about Apple history, strategy, and the people involved in this company. The highlight here is Steve Jobs is no longer a member of the organizational chart. This is a challenge to all the members of the company because Steve is the one of the origins of the iconic brand Apple. Steve Jobs was one of the Apple's motivators, determinant, and wise leader back then. Without his presence to the management team was a huge challenge for the people inside the company. Itong internal highlights and conclusion. All in all po, ang laman po ng first part namin ay about sa information about Apple, history, strategy, and staff ng Apple. Pinaka-highlight po ng aming topic ay simula po nung umalis si Steve Jobs ay nagkaroon po ng maraming difficulties na kinaharap ang company ng Apple, since si Steve Jobs po yung pinaka nagmo-motivate na maging successful ang business nila. At isa siya sa wise leader sa pagmamanage ng staff and company.
Okay, so this is the other internal highlights and conclusion of our brand. Apple, even though a successful company, also has challenges to face and analysis to study. They never stop providing a proper management and product service to people who have high expectations of them. They are good at sustaining their company because they have a sense of direction aligned with their mission, and they have a high vision of their brand that it will be even more successful in the future. A product without purpose is useless, and according to a Graphic Spring study, Apple's brand awareness tops all other global technology companies. So, the main highlight in this slide is that Apple's brand awareness tops all other tech companies. And as I further researched, Apple has its own branding strategy that focuses on the emotions of their customers. Apple focuses and care of how you feel towards the product while using it, because Apple is focusing on our lifestyle and the power to the people through technology. So, as a personal user of an iPhone, I can say that it gives me a different feeling upon using it, and I am so amazed by the system, the faster system it gives me, and also the aesthetic features. So for us, Apple really did a great job in providing advanced and enormous change in technology for mankind. So what we recommend in this slide is that we are hoping that Apple can give a product alternative to those people who can't afford their product. We can't deny that we all vary in the status of life, and we know that Apple applies new promoting sales also that always caught attention with its aesthetic features. They give a massive opportunities to new application developers, and they give an easy way to sell it to an enormous global audience. So we all know that iPhones already transformed technology and already changed the world. And ever since, we know that the founders, Steve Jobs and Wozniak, already credited revolutionizing computer industry by making machines easy to use for customers. So iPhone was somehow a fulfillment of many people's wish list for their own iPhone. So we are recommending if Apple could give an alternative product that is not that expensive, and other people who want to try this can really afford it. And I think there will be an increase of sales because our population is big. There are also a lot of people who want to try it. And imagine those huge number of people who want to try using iPhone but can't try because they can afford it. Imagine how many of them wants to try. It is also an additional add to their sales. It is also an additional it is also an additional gain for them, and they can increase their revenue. So that is our recommendation. So next slide. Internal recommendations and also suggestion. The reason why Apple can cope up with their company or the competition, because they don't pay much attention to the customer value, and that's what I'm talking about earlier. Only in the value of the product and the money, which is the price. And Apple is okay when it comes to their goal and industry and market analysis, but if they don't lower the price a little much, it's expected that there will be changes that can occur. Depending on the status of the economy today, their sales will definitely go down. So nowadays, in times of pandemic, we can tell when this will pandemic fade or go away. So as much as I'm expecting, their sales will go down because not all people have stable jobs, and they are more in favor to allocate their money in their proper priorities than luxury, because nowadays having iPhone accessory or anything iPhone products considered to be a luxury because we all know it's expensive, right? So as I as I recommend earlier, we can deny the fact that the status of life of every people vary, and many were aware about the advancement and beauty of Apple technology, but they often step back because of the inability to afford them. So what we recommend again is for Apple to focus more on the customer value and not on the price value of the product, because not only giving the best features and system of an iPhone should Apple Apple should be focusing on, but also on the customer value. Considering the value of their product, give chances for people who want to buy. So as I have mentioned in our paper, having a product alternative that was not that expensive could be our recommendation and suggestion. So this could be for sure it could increase their sales, and plus Apple company is a professional company, consists of educated management team, so they can control their cost at the same time increase their sales. So that is all about the internal highlights, internal force, internal factors of our Apple brand. So thank you all for listening. I am Gian Suzanne C. Perez, and have a good day.
For a brief introduction po about the external forces of the Apple company, those are the influences, circumstances, or situations that the Apple cannot control, and it's really affect their business operations, the decisions, and also the owners and the stakeholders. Also, meron pong large number of external factors na pwedeng magkaroon ng direct impact on the ability of the business para ma-achieve po yung kanilang strategic objectives. So, here are the conclusion, strategies, and recommendations in the second part of our paper with regards to external factors or forces and its strategic implementation that our group provided.
Good day everyone, my name is Roch Cleverher, and I'm here to discuss the conclusion for the external factors of Apple Company. As per the conclusion, Apple Company is very innovative and early adopters. It is typically the foremost company who takes new innovative products as compared to other companies. These types of things usually considered as more risky, but it appears to be functioning as Apple's advantage. So, sa Apple po, ang naging advantage po nila in growing their market is yung pagiging innovative po and adapters po nila. Example na lang po is noong 2007, nung naging first po ang competition sa PC industry. Ang naging strategy po ng Apple is nag-shift po sila sa mobile phone industry. Dahil po doon, nag-innovate po sila ng new products and inadapt po nila kung anong meron sa market na yon. So, through that, mas lalo pa pong lumago yung market nila and mas lalo pa po silang nakilala. Strong market position and consumer loyalty, which increases due to close ecosystem and user-friendly products, makes different to Apple company from its competitors. So, sa paper po namin, included po dun yung ambition po ng Apple, which is to make products without taking from Earth. Meaning, they believe in conserving the Earth's resources and they want to take responsibility for the emissions associated with their operations. So, sa pagre-research po namin, nalaman po namin na 100% po ng global facilities ng Apple ay powered by renewable electricity. And sources po na ginamit nila sa MacBook Air and Mac Mini are 100% recycled aluminum po. Apple Incorporation has been facing a vast array of legal issues over the years in various regions. Perhaps the most controversial legal conspiracy was that the accusation of slowing down the performance of the older models and products deliberately to increase the sales of newer products. After the accusation, it went down to the trails and Apple Incorporation had to give away $500 million to the customers as a compensation. So, when Apple faces issues like this po, mas lumalaki po yung nagiging cost nila kasi syempre po, responsibility po nila yung mga liabilities and damages po na natatanggap ng customers when it comes to the product of Apple po. So, although po profitable po ang company ng Apple, kailangan pa din po nilang mag-ingat when it comes to external factors kasi minsan po hindi lamang po yung mga customers ang naapektuhan kundi pati na din po yung mga suppliers nila at yung mga partners po. So, di ba po nabanggit po namin dati na ang Apple po is nagre-rely lamang or nakadepende po sa ibang countries when it comes to producing their products para po maka-reduce ng cost. But if ever po nagkaroon ng problems between countries or sa partnership po nila with other companies, malaki po yung magiging effect nun sa Apple, lalo na po when it comes to cost and to supply chain po.
Based on the report that was discussed by the previous reporter, she mentioned one of the problems faced by the Apple with regards to external operation or forces is in the Apple market. Na alam naman po natin, when it comes to technology company, madaming competitors na ang nag-e-exist sa market, pero at the same time, malaki pa din po ang nakukuha na market share ng Apple. Why? Because of the strategy used by the Apple Incorporation, which is the differentiation strategy that also mentioned in the Porter's model about this, where the strategic options that a company can use is to develop its competitive advantages in the consumer electronics and information technology and to their services industries. And also, we all know po that the Apple company start with their computer products, but as the years goes by, nagkakaroon at lumalaki na po ang kanilang competitors globally. And that is why their goal is to become a great contributor and innovator of great products to leave the world better than we found it. Katulad nga po ng situation that happened in the year 2007 where Apple released the iPhone. Kasi nga po, bumababa na po yung market share nila sa kanilang computer products. That is why ito yung naging way or strategy nila to cope up with this kind of situation na makikita naman po natin na nowadays, and with some of my research, iPhone has the most market share in smartphones worldwide. For the external recommendations or suggestions, dahil nga po gusto ng Apple to increase the market demand sa kanilang mga products, they use the product differentiation, as I mentioned in the previous discussion, which entails making their products unique and attractive to consumers. We already know naman po that despite of high competition, si Apple ay nagsasucceed pa din not just to create demand but also to increase the demand on their products that will also have a positive impact on their market share. Based on this analysis regards to our paper, the one that we want to recommend para mas mag-boost pa and mabawasan ang complaints pagdating sa kanilang product price, we wanted to recommend to have such alternatives products na mas afford ng mga tao. On this, they will focus on the value of their customer. Kasi given naman na po na malaki na ang kanilang share sa market. Pero by this, as one of the most valuable companies in the world, Apple can show that their strategy is a major determinant of competitive advantage against other firms. And then, by focusing on customers willing to pay more and maintaining a premium price at the cost of unit volume, Apple also set up an artificial entry barrier to competitors to have a greater advantage to them. And this is also one of the strategy to maintain the high demand and share of the Apple products in the market. Because the more na mag-increase ang demand sa kanilang products, the more na mas tataas din ang share nila sa market. By this presentation, ma'am, we are grateful to successfully presented the Apple Incorporation's highlights, conclusions, strategies, and recommendations that are provided of our group with full dedication. Thank you.